Welcome back, my friends, to another video. And the Nuka DLC trailer was released earlier on today, and I did say in my previous video that I was going to be doing a breakdown, and that is what you guys are going to be seeing in this video. I'm going to be breaking it down into parts, so I'll play like one part of the trailer, then break that down, then play the next part and break that down. And there is a lot to be covered in this video. So as always, hope you all do go on to enjoy or do find it helpful. And let's jump straight into it.
Welcome to Nuka World, America's favorite vacation destination. I'm Cappy.
Oh, and I'm Bottle.
And we're here to make sure you have FUN fun during your time at the park.
What if there was a place with all the zip of Nuka-Cola? Wouldn't that be the cheeriest place in all the world? Where the river's made of quantum and the mountaintops are fizz with fun.
So already in the opening segments, there is quite a lot of things to talk about here, and starting off, we have this new Nuka-Cola themed robot, and you can see it sort of waddling about there. You'll actually see it several times throughout the trailer, and it's seemingly playing audio of a reference to Mickey Mouse and Goofy, or at least I think that's what it's a reference to. But moving on here, we get some extra look at some of the scenery that Nuka World's got going on, as you guys can see there. And then we move into something very interesting, but also creepy at the same time, and that is the robot mannequins. Even saying that sounds creepy, and you can see here as he turns slowly to drink the Nuka-Cola, just how creepy this damn thing looks. But even more interesting, if you take a look behind him, and you'll actually notice this throughout the trailer as well, there's this new variant of Nuka-Cola that hasn't been seen before in Fallout 4, and it's glowing this orangey sort of yellow glow in the background. And this is what I believe to be Nuka-Cola Victory. And for those of you who don't know what that is, Nuka-Cola Victory was this Nuka-Cola variant that was quite rare in Fallout New Vegas, and it seems to be making its way into Fallout 4, or at least that's what I think it's going to be. It has the same sort of orangey glow as Nuka-Cola Victory, but I guess we will have to wait and see if that is actually going to be the case. Moving on again, we get some more sort of scenery that we can check out here. You can see like the crashed roller coaster with the skeleton on it, which I believe is in Dry Rock Gulch. Not too sure about that though. Then we move on to the World of Refreshment, being one of the new zones in the amusement park. You can see there as well a Mylark in the background, maybe a new variant of Mylark, being like a Nuka-Lurk or something like that. And then we get into something very interesting again. You can see here we have some new armor and a weapon that this raider seems to be holding. You also have like the Nuka Mountain in the background as well. And I believe the weapon that he is holding is the AK, which you'll also see a lot more of as well throughout the trailer there. So some really interesting stuff from the first segment. Now let's take a look at the second segment.
Tops are fizz with fun and games and rides for all the moms and pops and kids. But it turns out there's a place with all the zip of Nuka-Cola. Come on down to Nuka World and see it for yourself.
Kingdoms, lots of fun for Ty, you and me.
Glory, adventures full of animals to see.
Blast off to Galactic Zone for otherworldly thrills. Down in Dry Rock Gulch, there's cola up in them far hills.
So again, for the second segment, here is where things get really exciting. And to start things off here, we have an array of some brand new mini games that we can actually play. These are ranging from the hoop shot, where you have to throw the basketball into the hoop to get as many points as you can. You also have the whack-a-mole as well. Again, you're going to try and get as many points as you can with that. Then we move on to the Atomic Rollers minigame, which is essentially you throwing the ball into a certain hole to try and get more points. Then it shows off some of the merry-go-round rides. I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be able to go on those. I presume so, because later on in the trailer you guys will actually see you can actually go on a fully functioning roller coaster, which is just absolutely crazy there. But getting back to the final minigame shown here, and this of course is the shooting range minigame, and that is just to simply shoot as many targets as you can, as quick as you can. And I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work. Maybe you get tickets for doing it, you know, in a certain amount of time, or the better you do it, the more tickets or points that you get or something, and then maybe you can purchase stuff with with those things, you know. I'm presuming there's going to be some sort of system in place where we can get some benefits from it, you know, alongside having fun with the mini games itself there. But moving away from the mini games now, we take a look here at this Nuka-Cola themed power armor, and then on to the actual roller coaster ride. You can see that the sign Nuka Galaxy. And I mean, it looks insane. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like there's going to be a lot of stuff going on with that. Who knows if we will be able to create our own? Maybe they'll add some workshop stuff in where you can actually make your own roller coasters. And if they do that, then it's going to be absolutely crazy there. But taking a look now at some of these zones, as you can see, we got the Kiddie Kingdom sign there. We have the Fun House, and then we have some ghouls sort of running along these rotating platforms. And if you notice here, guys, one of those ghouls are completely blue. And a lot of people think this may be a quantum infected ghoul, which I believe is probably going to be the case. That seems like the most logical thing, being in Nuka World. And of course, the fact that the ghoul is completely blue. But that is something that I guess we will have to wait and see there. But moving on again here, we now take a look at one of the new creatures actually introduced into Nuka World, and this thing looks absolutely deadly. It looks like a cross between a crocodile and a deathclaw, but I personally think this is going to be the mutant crocodile. And for those of you who don't know, the mutant crocodile was actually a creature supposed to be in one of the previous Fallouts that was actually just cancelled. It was completely just removed, I guess. There was a few concept designs of it that was actually posted there, which you can check out as well. And apart from that, nothing was really known about them. So that's what I think this is going to be. Again, that's just me going off on a limb there. This could be, you know, a crocodile cross between a deathclaw or maybe like a croc claw or something. Who knows? One thing's for sure though, the damn thing looks deadly, and it looks like something that you may want to keep away from. Another creature that was actually spotted in the very next scene is this Mutated Bull, or I guess a bull version of the Brahmin is what it seems to be there from the gameplay. And also in the same scene as well, you get to see the character holding a yellow baseball bat with what seems to be thrusters on it as well, seemingly going to be a new attachment for the baseball bat there, which looks very, very cool. And then moving on, again, we're going to skip a few scenes here because it's just generic scenes again, into this Wild West themed location. And you can see some of the clothing there. It's obviously brand new. That looks absolutely crazy. And as well, in the next scene from that, you get to see a new weapon and what I believe to be a sandworm. I'm not entirely sure what this is, but again, this is going to be another creature. Whatever it is, it looks scary, it looks creepy, and none of us really know exactly what it's going to be, but again, it looks like some form of mutated sandworm. And as for the weapon, I'm not entirely sure what this is. It looks like a pistol with some sort of crazy modification on it that almost looks like a syringe type thing. It almost looks like something's supposed to be in that glass bottle that you shoot out. But again, I don't know. It just looks crazy. And of course, this is going to be one of the new weapons coming in Nuka World. But anyway, that's pretty much it for the second segment. And now let's take a look at the third segment.
The world of refreshments, the most wonderful place. The friendly streets of Nuka Town put a smile on your face. Now you know there's a place that's just as great as Nuka-Cola. Come on down to Nuka World and see it for yourself. A vacation that refreshes, a trip you won't forget. A park with every minimum acceptable safety standard. Quench your thirst for.
So starting off the final segment here, we take another look at the world of refreshment. This seems to be sort of like a front view, I guess, of one of the brand new zones again within the amusement park itself. Then it almost immediately turns towards some of the raiders walking, and you'll notice that these two specific raiders here, they're wearing some brand new pieces of clothing and armor, and right in the background there is the Operators logo. For those of you who don't know, the Operators are one of the raider gangs, so I presume these are of course a part of the Operators, and these two don't typically look like shoot on sight styled raiders. They look more interactable, I guess, more story based, and I just think they're going to be somewhat or somehow part of the storyline there. But moving on to the next scene directly, you can see here we have some new armor and clothing going on again, and more interestingly, you can see the person on the right, or I guess the left from where the person is facing, actually has what seems to be a slave collar around her neck. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that, whether or not that's going to be something, you know, you can actually do in the game and actually put on certain, you know, raiders and stuff like that is yet to be known, but it is just something to point out there from the trailer. The next thing worth mentioning is the guy holding the AK shooting the Bottle and Cappy statue. You can see that this AK actually has the shovel attachment at the back alongside a scope on it. So of course there is just some of the customization variants available for the AK-47 there. Moving on again, we get a look here at some of the settlement options. I mean, the only real one you get to see be placed down is the Bottle and Cappy statue, but you can see like a mini collection of what they've put together here on the red rocket, some of which is very interesting. You have like these huge ice cream cones, which are very, very interesting indeed. And on the next scene, here is where things get a little bit crazy. You can see here we have a paddle ball with an electrified modification onto it, and it does like little to no damage. Like, it literally is a novelty weapon, but it looks great. It looks like a lot of fun. How unique this weapon is going to be, I don't know. This could be a very common weapon in a certain area, or you may only find like one in the game. But either way, it definitely is a great novelty weapon. Not one you're really going to be looking for in terms of damage, but either way, a brand new, I guess, weapon coming in Nuka World. Talking about weapons, take a look at this AK from the next scene. I mean, look at how crazy that paint and color scheme is on the weapon. And hopefully this is something we can now do with the Nuka World expansion. Hopefully we can now customize weapons in various different paint schemes and stuff like that. I just think it's overall a great feature that probably should have been there from the start, and hopefully now it is something that we can actually get into doing. For the next scene, we take a look here at some of the new clothing and masks as well. You can see here what seems to be a colored variation of the Plague Doctor mask. Very, very interesting stuff there. And one of my favorite parts of the trailer is this next clip where you see the aliens shooting the alien blasters. Now, a lot of people think this may be aliens being brought back into the game, but I think that's not the case. I do believe these are probably just those robot mannequins again, shooting alien blasters. But one thing to take note from this is, if you notice, those alien blasters are the Fallout 3 versions. They are not the Fallout 4 alien blaster. That is literally the Fallout 3 alien blaster. So maybe we might be able to get this version of the alien blaster. That would be really, really cool in my opinion, and definitely something that a lot of fans have wanted, and hopefully that will be the case, and these aren't just, you know, moving robot aliens with robot pistols that you can never get your hands on. In the next scene, we take a look at some new power armor, which seems to be electrified as well. You can see there it seems to be getting electrocuted by something. Again, for the next scene, we take a look at one of the brand new bladed weapons. As well, we have some crazy looking type of insect. I'm not entirely sure what that would be, but it looks big, it looks deadly, and it looks like, again, another creature or insect that you may want to keep away from. In this next scene, something really interesting happens. You'll notice that this guy, who looks like a magician in magician clothing, throws something down onto the ground and just poof, it just disappears. And I think it's going to be some kind of a boss fight. I'm not entirely sure. He may just be a new variant of a creature or something already in the game that we may see a little bit, you know, often, I guess. But I think it's going to be some sort of a boss fight. Maybe when you kill him, you can grab his magician outfit. Maybe even some of his powers or something like that would be really cool as well. But again, just something to point out there. And directly after this scene, we have another new creature, or I guess not really new to the Fallout universe, but another creature coming back. And these, of course, are the ants, the all annoying freaking ants. So try and keep away from those ant holes and you should be fine there. But aside from that, I mean, you can see some of the new rides in action again, the one that goes all the way up and all the way down. Then you can see the car as well riding along one side of the track there, and the rest of the trailer is pretty much the stuff that was shown at E3. So that is pretty much it for this trailer breakdown. I am aware that I may have missed a few things from this breakdown, so if I did, be sure to leave them in the comment section down below for everybody else to see. And I just wanted to do a bit of a breakdown on it today, just mention a couple of things that I personally spotted, grab a couple of comments as well from the previous video that some of you guys spotted, and just talk about some of the new things coming within the Nuka World DLC. As always, hope you did enjoy this video today. Be sure to leave a like down below if you did. Your support, of course, is always greatly appreciated on the channel. If you guys also want to check out the full trailer in its entirety, I'll have a link in the description down below to that. You guys can simply go ahead and watch it over there. And one last thing to mention is, if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do so. I'm going to be covering Nuka World DLC completely, from rare weapon guides, rare armor guides, cool little things going on, gameplay streams, and much more. So be sure to stick around for those. Peace out.